The season of limited time sync pairs reaching its peak. 5 limited units, 1 limited rerun. Who should you scout for? Or is it all just bait, anniversary bait? Let's discuss. Here we go. Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, your artist Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. Well guys, it's the month of February. That is, we are one update away from the 3.5 year anniversary, which happens on the end of February. Now we got... This is the time, as you might know, the update that comes before anniversary, either the year anniversary or the 0.5 year anniversary, is always filled with bait units. And I can say that all these are interesting in their own way. Yes, they are bait. And yes, maybe you should scout for them, or maybe you should not scout for them. Well, some of them are just really good. And in this video, we are going to discuss each one in a little bit more in-depth than my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 scouting guide, which I posted a couple of, well, a day ago. So in this video, in the 1 out of 5 or none out of 5, it's just one copy of each one in this video right now that we're gonna discuss. You go 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 maximum if they have maximum grids, because Pokefairs nowadays like Cygnus with Lysander, Annabelle, and you have Emma with 5 out of 5 grids. Are they unnecessary, or do they actually bring something good to the table? But before we get to that, guys, don't forget to help out the channel right now by giving this video a thumbs up. You've been kind enough to do that. Thank you very much in my last several videos, and you've been kind enough to leave comments as well. So thank you so much for helping me kind of go a little bit into the YouTube algorithm. Let's get to 10,000 subs, guys. But also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I know most of you are subscribed, but there's still 50%, 50+%, above 50% of you who are not yet subscribed. So go do that now and leave your notifications to all, and share this out to your friends or something of that sort. And if you want to put the support a bit further, you can become a member of my channel, just like my awesome members up here. Thank you so much for your support and generosity, whether you be here or whether you'll be hiding behind me, which I'm gonna... Whoa, what the heck? Which I'm gonna hide myself right now, like this. Thank you very much for your support. And by the way, happy birthday, Marcella! It's been a while since I saw you in my channel. Hope to see you soon. Also, thank you to all the gifters of my channel who have been showering gifts, giving away extra memberships to these people. If you want to become a receiver of the memberships, be active in chat, either in live chat, in the comment section, in thumbs ups. You will have a higher chance of receiving a free membership like these awesome people out there. But with that out of the way, guys, let us get discussing. Starting off with the timeline, which I have to remind everyone again. We start off with Mallow and Elessa. Palentine's 2023 starts on January 31 and February 2, 2 days apart, and ends on February 20 for both of them. 77% chance of scouting for them, or rather scouting for random 5-star, and 2% scouting for them. Lysander, Annabelle, and Emma starts on February 13, 15, and 17, 2 days apart, all end on March 5. They are Pokefair scouts with a 2% chance of scouting for them and a 10% chance of receiving a random 5-star. All of them have grids that go up to 5 copies requirement in order to max out their entire grid. And last but not the least, we have Leon, who is rerunning with Gigantamax Charizard this time. February 18, one day after Emma, and ends on March 17. Now, the anniversary again is gonna happen on February 28. That's the last day of February. So, make sure you have your gem save up. I don't think any sync pair will come out after Leon, anything new, before the anniversary. So, you have some time to breathe, but take note because there might be 3 anniversary units just like last year. Not sure if they're gonna be Poke Fair or Master Fair. And maybe Anniversary Skyla, Anniversary Raihan, Anniversary May might rerun because they are just Poke Fairs and not Master Fairs. Just keep that in mind. Alright guys, let us begin. Starting off with Mallow and Appleton. I've discussed these things, you know, I'm gonna assume that you guys know everything about this one. And I'm just gonna talk about the important stuff. If you want more discussions, check out my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5, where I discuss them a little bit more in depth. But this is a support sync pair with decent defenses, low HP, and this sync pair can lower the opponent's special defense stat whenever you use Apple Acid. You can max out everyone's critical hit rate, and you can raise defenses of all allied sync pairs by up to maximum with 2 order ups. I just realized that defense plus 3 instead of defense plus 2. And then, this is a support sync pair, so no multipliers with a sync move, but the most important thing about her are her passive skills. But before we get to the passive skill, check out this sync move animation. Poor Lucario. Poor Lucario. Anyway, thank you Absol-utely for data mining that. Thank you. Okay, passive skills. Most important thing, Team Fist Bump 9. Every single time you attack an opponent using Mallow, everyone recovers a little bit of health. Every single time you attack, either Dragon Pulse or Apple Acid, everyone recovers health. This is better than Signusuit Morty because more Signusuit Morty requires Sun. This is better than most of the other sync pairs because this is the first time Team Fist Bump 9 has appeared in the game. There's Team Fist Bump 4, there's Team Fist Bump something, but this is the first time Team Fist Bump 9 has appeared. There's one similar thing which is Active Healing 9 of Fall Alistair, but then that only applies to himself. This one applies to every single one. Midpoint Mend, as soon as you reach half health, either 50% or lower, you recover 50% HP back. Full health for Palentine's Mallow. And last but not the least, you have Initial Synchro Healing 2. The first time you use a sync move using Mallow, everyone recovers 40% HP, as if the healing of Team Fist Bump 9 is not yet enough. So crazy physical tanker. Again, order up just can maximize everyone's defenses. Initial Synchro Healing, heal up everyone to 40% HP. That's, I'm assuming you're gonna use her first. Unless you have a striker or tech sync pair that really benefits from Mega Evolution and something like that. For example, Signusuit Diantha or probably some other like Signusuit Lusamine definitely benefits from Mega Evolution first or something that you want to go for them first. But normally you want to go for the support sync pair first for the 6-star EX, double sync buff, and if you do that, everyone just recovers 40% HP. So, in terms of the sync move, let us check this out right now, which is 1 out of 5, you get nothing. 2 out of 5, you get Apple Acid Flabbergas. 50% chance of confusing the opponent. You got an MP refresh for Dire Hit All Plus, which is technically nothing except if you have the parameters in Champion Stadium or Battle Villa. You got a Dragon Pulse Move Gauge Refresh 3. Why did I put that there? Normally I do not put Move Gauge Refreshes. Anyway, you got an Order Up MP Refresh 2, which is, if you can maximize everyone's defenses already with 2 uses, you probably don't need this. You got Quick Cure, and then you got Sterner stuff too. If you are hit by a physical attack, lower damage, as if she's not tanky enough. Team Sync your 9 after you use your sync move. Everyone's status conditions get cured. And then Triage Tank 4. If you get hit, you have a 40% chance or a 50% chance of recovering some health. Only for herself, sadly. If this was Team Triage Tank 4, I'm like, okay, nothing could be better than Malo now. But Triage Tank 4 keeps her alive. 3 out of 5, you got a move gauge refresh 9 for Apple Acid. So every single time you use Apple Acid, you recover 1 move gauge immediately. Apple Acid Trip Up 9 lowers the opponent's speed stat -1 every single time you use Apple Acid. So now you get to lower not just the opponent's special defense, but also speed stat. But then, you have a choice here because you can flinch the opponent using Dragon Pulse. 50% chance of leaving or flinching the opponent if you choose Staggering 4 tile. Which is, I don't know if I want to Trip Up 9 or Staggering 4 now. Hype Up 9, every single time you attack the opponent, you can raise everyone's special attack stat by 1. Every single time, either Dragon Pulse or Apple Acid. Impervious, your stats cannot be lowered. Order Up Catalytic Kick, if you use Order Up, it will set a move gauge acceleration. Revenge Boost 9, every single time you get hit or you get damage, you get to recover 1 move gauge. And then there's Vigilance, which protects you from critical hits. And that's that. Additional power ups for her sync move, but then probably you'll only use her sync move once, so that's that, guys. Very, very nice sync pair. You have either the debuffing build, which is Trip Up 9 for Apple Acid, as well as the lowered special defense for the opponent, or you can go for the Staggering 4 build, which basically can make the opponent flinch. But then, Dragon Pulse is a 3 move gauge attack, which is probably more expensive than Apple Acid, which is just a 2 move gauge attack. And there's Move Gauge Refresh 9, which basically recovers 1 move gauge immediately after using Apple Acid. So that is Malo and Appletun. And let's move on first to Alessa and Togetic. This one is a gimmicky sync pair, which uses Metronome a lot. Metronome and Fly. Metronome, every single time you use Metronome, her passive skill, which is Super Powered 5, or rather Strengthening Status 9, raises your physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect by 1 stat rank. And this basically powers up your physical attacks by 40% or special attacks by 40%. Metronome can either call in a physical attack or a special attack, and whichever that is called, that moves up next gets used up. If you're able to stack a lot, then definitely your whatever the attack that comes next will become more powerful. Or you can use all your physical moves up next stacks for Fly, which is technically a 2-move attack, 2-turn attack. And yeah, it will use up your physical moves up next effect, becomes stronger. Super Powered 5, if the opponent is weak to whatever attack you use, it will become 50% stronger. That also applies to Fly. If the opponent is weak to flying type attacks, Fly will become 50% stronger. And if the opponent is weak to flying and you use Fly, your sync move countdown reduces by 1. But Fly is a 2-turn attack, so you technically just, reduce your sync move countdown by 2. Exactly how many turns you have used. Metronome, if you're lucky, Super Countdown 9 will also trigger that. And then, Delivering Delight, her trainer move, raises your attack and special attack plus 3. Using twice of this will max out your attack and special attack stats. You have Dire Hit Plus, which can raise or maximize your critical hit rate. Now, for sync move Sugary Beauty Flying Impact, there's no multipliers, but appreciate the beauty of this sync move right now. Well, there's nothing exactly beautiful about a generic sync move, but anyway, guys, let's move on. Those are the passive skills. Again, Super Powered 5, Strengthening Status 9, and Super Countdown 9. In terms of Sync Grid. 1 out of 5, you got Dire Hit plus MP Refresh 2, which again is worthless except if for certain situations. Headstrong attack cannot be lowered. 2 out of 5, you get Critical Strike 1. You got Dauntless, special attack cannot be lowered. Can, you know, Headstrong and Dauntless side by side. Delivering Delight MP Refresh 2, not exactly that useful again because you already can maximize your attack and special attack stats by 2 uses. Delivering Delight Precision 1 can raise your accuracy stat plus 1. Now, if your attack and special attack has already been maxed and you use Delivering Delight again, your accuracy stat will not go up. So, unless the opponent decides to lower your attack and special attack, 2 uses of Delivering Delight will not raise your accuracy stat by another 1. So, keep your accuracy stat plus 2 and stuff like that. Fly MP Refresh 2 might be helpful for this one. Metronome Fortuitous 9, every single time you use Metronome, 1 random stat will be increased except for critical hit rate. Sharp Entry 1, start of the battle, critical hit rate plus 1. Slippery Slope 9, if the opponent misses, you get to raise your own evasiveness stat. And you can let the opponent miss by using Fly, or, you know, Fortuitous 9 can raise your evasiveness stat. Every single time the opponent misses, you get to raise your evasiveness stat. Super Interference 1 raises the chance of inflicting status conditions. Now, from what I know, you know, Poison, I think it's either Poison Jab for the Poison attack, I forgot. Yeah, for electric types, it's Thunderbolt, I forgot, or was it Thunder? And then Fire Blast, was it Fire Blast? Anyway, they have a higher chance of inflicting status conditions, including the Ice type move and stuff like that. So Super Interference 1 can do that for you. Next, we got 3 out of 5, Super Duper Effective 5 for Metronome. So Super Powered 5 for her passive skills affects both normal attacks and sync moves. This one only affects Metronome, sadly. Metronome Super Countdown 9 pairs up with the Super Countdown 9 of the passive skills. So if you're able to land an attack that the opponent is weak to, you get to lower your sync move countdown by an additional 1, lowering your sync move countdown -2 paired up with the Super Countdown 9 passive. Delivering Delight Super Preparation 9, if you use Delivering Delight, your next attack is gonna have a super effective up next. This can apply to Fly, Metronome, or your sync move. Double Down 5, if the opponent is weak to flying, your sync move will become stronger. Soften Up 1, quite good for strikers over here. Basically raises the chance or guarantees that you will be able to land critical hits with your sync move. So as an AoE striker, you will land your sync move or you land your critical hits more easily. Quick Tempo speeds up the move gauge at the start of the battle. Sync Quickening 3. After you use your sync move, anytime, you get to recover 3 MP for Fly every single time you use your sync move. So you do not need Fly MP Refresh, you just need Sync Quickening 3 and you'll be able to spam Fly. Gloating Boost 9, whenever the opponent misses, you raise your own physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect by 1 stat rank. Again, every single time you raise this is plus 40% damage, and then you have 2 sync move increasing tiles. So, this sync pair has high defenses, interestingly for a striker. So, tech level defense and special defense. Low speed, but then you only need Metronome 1 move gauge. Fly, you don't need any MP or you don't need any move gauge for that one. Decent attack and special attack, and average HP. So that's Palentine's Alessa. Gimmicky, but overall not too bad. Let's move on to probably the best sync pair of this update, says a lot of people. Cygnus Lysander and Volcanion. This is a sync pair, a Pokefair Scout with a buddy move. This is the bait unit of this update. Or actually, all of these sync pairs are actually bait. Sus! You got Steam Eruption. I think I discussed this already, but I'm gonna go through very fast. Can burn the opponent With the passive skill, it almost guarantees that the opponent is burned. 4 move gauge attack. Heat Wave is your fire type attack. Can hit everyone 10% chance of leaving the target burned, but more chances because of hostile environment 3. You got B-Hydro Pump. Is a buddy move that activates. You can use this infinite number of times as long as there's one burned opponent. And every single time you use this, you get a free move next effect. So you can use the free move next effect for either Steam Eruption, Heat Wave, or B-Hydro Pump. And then you will also get a super effective up next effect, which increases your next attack by around 150%. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. And then you also give yourself a special moves up next effect by how many opponents are burned. If there's one opponent that's burned, 40% increase in damage. If 2 opponents are burned, 80% increase in damage. If 3 opponents are burned, that's a 120% increase in damage. Crazy! So, you got a 150% increase in damage with super effective up next. You got a 120% increase in damage with 3 stacks of special moves up next effect. And then what else? You got passive skills, which we will discuss after you appreciate this sync move animation. Poor Lucario. Hiya. So, you got Grand Entry 4 at the start of the battle. You start off with +4 special attack stat. You got Searing Surge 5. Powers up your attacks and your sync moves when the opponent is burned by around 50%. So, you got a 150% for super effective up next. You got a 150% again for Searing Surge 5. Correct my math if I'm wrong. You got a 120% increase in special moves up next effect 3 stack ranks. I mean, that is a lot of damage with just getting base Signesuit Lysander. And then there's Hostile Environment 3 again, which raises the chances of burning the opponent with either Heat Wave or Steam Eruption. Now, you got a Nation Creation Hydro Pump sync move, which basically does nothing, no extra multipliers except for that design, that animation that you saw. And the trainer move Blazing Belief, can use this once, can raise your accuracy stat +1, maximizes your critical hit rate, and gives you a free move next effect. Which, probably you should start off with Blazing Belief, then probably Steam Eruption. Once the opponent is burned, probably use a B-Hydro Pump, get a free move next effect again, probably use Steam Eruption or Heat Wave, burn the next opponent, and then use B-Hydro Pump again, you'll have a free move next effect, use blah blah blah. Something like that, guys. So that is Signesuit Lysander's base kit. Now let's look at his sync grid. 1 out of 5 flame proof. 2 out of 5 you get Blazing Belief MP Refresh 2. This basically just raises your accuracy and gives you a free move next effect and, you know, maximizes your critical hit rate. Burn Synergy 1, Raging Rain 2. Burn Synergy just powers up your moves. When the opponent is burned, Raging Rain, if it is raining, powers up your moves, your attacks. And don't forget that if it's raining already, your attacks are gonna be much more powerful. So probably it's already overkill just pairing up Lysander with Rain. It's gonna be so overkill already. Racing Rain 2 speeds up the move gauge. Scorching Sync 2 if the opponent is burned. Stronger sync move damage. Water Guard reduces water type damage. 3 out of 5 you get Adrenaline 1 reduces sync move cooldown -1 after your sync move. First time you use your sync move. Brain Gain 9. If you use Blazing Belief, you will get a special moves up next effect. 40% chance increase in damage already. Blazing Belief ramp up 2 raises your special attack stat +2, meaning you can maximize your special attack stat already by getting this. Burn Boost Special 2. If you use an attack against an opponent, if the opponent is burned, 30% chance of raising your special moves up next effect. Oh my goodness, so many special moves up next effect stack. And I should probably have highlighted this. I forgot to highlight this. I am so sorry, but it's blue. Alright, next. Furious Brain. The higher the opponents or the higher your special attack stat is, the stronger your attacks are gonna be. Oh my goodness, so many multipliers. Heatwave, Scorching Touch. If you attack the opponent using Heatwave, your opponents are gonna be burned because of Hostile Environment 3 plus Scorching Touch 4. Heatwave super duper effective 9 powers up your fire type Heatwave. Scorching Sync 9 if the opponent is burned. 90% stronger sync move damage plus 2 sync nuke tiles for this guy. Oh my goodness. Let's move on to 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 because he has those grids. Piercing Gaze, you will never miss your attacks. Sync Freebie, free move next effect after using your sync move. But honestly, I don't think you need this because if you keep using B Hydro Pump, that already gives you a free move next effect. So I'm guessing that you will keep using B Hydro Pump and you will not need that free move next effect anymore. 5 out of 5, you got a burn down attack minus and special defense minus 9. If the opponent is burned and you attack it, you get to lower their attack and special defense stat minus 1. And Cygnus Lysander is a special attacker and he has so many multipliers already. You just keep lowering the opponent's special defense stat. Oh my goodness, do you even need this? Let's move on. Super Sync 9 applies the super effective up next effect to him after using your sync move, which is probably okay if you... I don't know, because you can easily trigger the super effective up next effect by using B Hydro Pump. Probably if you use B Hydro Pump, you know, you got the super effective up next, then you use your sync move. That super effective up next will be used for the sync move, and then you'll have to reset, you know, use B Hydro Pump again to get the super effective up next. If you get this, you don't have to, you will keep your super effective up next. You get what I mean, guys. Anyway, guys, just check the time. It's 3:50 a.m. I have to wake up at 5:30. So I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. See you.
6 hours later.
I'm back. Now let's move on. Annabelle and Snorlax is a support sync pair that can make the opponent flinch by using Headbutt. It also is pretty defensive with Reflect, Protect, and Requesting Backup. Requesting Backup applies critical hit defense, status condition defense, special damage reduction, and raises everyone's attack stat by 2 stat ranks. So in here, you can give yourself a damage guard next effect, you can give yourself physical damage reduction, you can give yourself special damage reduction, and the opponent has no way to land a critical hit or bypass those shields because of the critical hit defense. Perfect to use when there's an infinite field effect, permanent field effect in Champion Stadium, and so on and so forth. And the good thing about this one as well is that whenever you have those conditions in play, you got a passive skill that can raise your stats by 20% for Annabelle. So, quite good. And then the moment... it has a max move, guys, and the moment you use your max move, either G-Max Replenish, Max Guard, or the other Max Guard, you get to recover your own HP by 50%. And as usual, G-Max Replenish is like Red and Snorlax, just recovers 1 MP for all your limited time attacks. So that's Reflect, Protect, and I think G-Max Replenish as well also gets replenished by 1 MP. Then every single time you use your Reflect, Protect, and Requesting Backup, you get to raise your own special defense as well as the special defense of your allied teammates by 1. So you can maximize the special defense just by using Reflect, Protect, G-Max, or rather Requesting Backup. Now, let us go ahead and appreciate the max move. Not sync move, max move animation. Here we go. That looks awfully familiar. And this one is just recycled completely with Red's max move. Just recycled. Shake my head. Shake my head. Anyway, guys, that is the thing. That is what she is capable of. So she can recover. But now, with her sync grid, 1 out of 5 gets antitoxin. 2 out of 5 gets fire guard. Less damage from fire type attacks. Healthy healing ice guard. Less damage from ice attacks. Quick cure reflect MP refresh 2, which is optional because you already have the G-Max replenish. Requesting backup MP refresh 2, also optional because of the G-Max replenish. Stalwart, special defense cannot be lowered. Unbending defense cannot be lowered. And then a 3 out of 5, here is where you can make the opponent flinch consistently. Aggravation 1, charging infliction 2 whenever you use those reflect, the shield, or protect, you can recover your move gauge by 2. Debut damage reduction at the start of the battle gives you a physical damage reduction, so you do not have to use your trainer move first. You do not have to use reflect first because it will give you a reflect instantly. And then there's a reflect shielded 1. If you use reflect, everyone's defense stat gets raised, which makes her a physical defender as well as special defender. Helps everyone. Requesting backup critical squad 1, I think, is very important, interestingly, so that you can raise everyone's crit using Annabelle. Requesting backup durable 9 gives you an endure effect whenever you use this. And then team max shielding strikes, when you use your sync move, you get to raise everyone's defenses. Now, this again, team limited edition, her passive skill raises everyone's special defense. And now with team max shielding strikes as well as reflect shielded 1, you can maximize everyone's physical defenses as well. And then you got to power up her sync move by a little bit. But again, now she is a Pokefair now. Pokefairs have 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 tiles. And at 4 out of 5, you get Allied Field Effect Accelerate 3. Which, whenever you use those trainer moves of hers, as well as the Pokemon shields and stuff, you get to speed up your move gauge whenever those things are active. And then whenever you use your sync move or your max move, Team Max Sync Boost Physical 9 will give everyone a physical moves up next effect, which what this does is it raises everyone's physical moves next physical attack by 40% damage. 5 out of 5, you got Catalytic Acceleration after you use your sync move. Anytime you get to speed up your move gauge with the move gauge acceleration. And at 5 out of 5, I'm not sure why they locked this at 5 out of 5. Got Synchro Healing 1. This would have been much better if this was at an earlier move level or probably a passive skill. But now, you know, if you have her 5 out of 5, you get to recover everyone's HP every single time you sync by 20%. So, expensive. I feel that Synchro Healing is a very important tile. The rest, not too much. I'm not sure if the move gauge acceleration will pile up. You know, you got so many things that can speed up the move gauge here. What else? You got... What else? I completely... Or is this the sync pair that can speed up the move gauge? Probably not this one, guys. Probably the other one previously. But I wonder if the move gauge acceleration will stack for all the allied sync pairs that can speed up the move gauge acceleration. Never actually tried this. So if you actually know the answer, do let me know in the comment section, guys. But next, we got Emma and Crobat. This is a physical poison type striker. And what this does is that it, well, The moment an opponent is poisoned, B cross poison, her buddy move will be triggered, will be activated. And you can use this an unlimited number of times as well, as long as the one opponent is poisoned. B cross poison is a 4 move gauge attack, very expensive, and it never misses, and it always lands a critical hit unless there are shields or unless the opponent has vigilance. Then it has a 10% chance of leaving the opponent badly poisoned, but probably you want to use Poison Fang to badly poison the opponent instead. You have Potion, low defense, low special defense, but you have Potion to heal yourself or an ally. And you have Here We Go, her trainer move, raises her own attack stat by 4 and raises the speed stat of all allied sync pairs by 4. Now, she cannot raise her own critical hit rate, but you are guaranteed to land a critical hit using B cross poison as well as your sync move. Poison Fang will probably not be a critical hit if you do not have someone to raise her own critical hit rate, but B cross poison as well as critical sync, her passive skill, helps you land critical hits, guys. Now, let's check out her sync move animation. That also looks familiar. Azarola. Poor Lucario. Looks like Azarola smiling. Anyway, Head Start 2, start of the battle, lower your sync move countdown -2. Toxic freebie, whenever you attack a poisoned or badly poisoned opponent, you have a 50% chance of giving yourself a free move next. And this will be very significant with B cross poison because B cross poison is a 4 move gauge attack. You probably want to maximize the free move next with B cross poison, especially Poison Fang cannot be a critical hit if you do not raise her own critical hit rate. And then critical sync again, almost all the time, if not all the time, your sync move will be a critical hit. And as a striker, if you sync Star EX her, everyone will be receiving critical hits, which is awesome. Alright, sync grid, 1 out of 5, toxin, anti-toxin, and a flappable. 2 out of 5, you got an MP refresh, which can maximize your attack stat as well as maximize everyone's speed stat. Here we go, slippery 1 raises your own evasiveness by 1, which you can probably use this twice when you got an MP refresh. Master Healer 1 raises the HP you can recover with potion. Toxic chance, 40% chance of poisoning the opponent, which basically guarantees that your Poison Fang will be always badly poisoning the opponent. Toxic hit attack +4. 40% or rather 50% chance of raising your attack stat by 1 if you attack a poison or badly poisoned opponent. Which probably if you get this, you do not need MP Refresh 2 anymore for Here We Go. But I think Here We Go MP Refresh is a little bit better. And then there's Toxic Hit Speed up +9. Raises your speed stat by 1 if your attack, same thing. But Here We Go probably is better as well because it raises everyone's speed stat instead of just her speed stat. Got Toxic Power 1, raises the damage you can deal the opponent if they are poisoned. And Virulent Toxin 2, if the opponent is poisoned, your sync move will become stronger. 3 out of 5, you got Adrenaline 1. Reduces your sync move countdown -1 when you use your sync move for the very first time. You got Inertia. The higher your speed stat is, the stronger your sync move is. And again, guaranteed critical because of critical sync. Poisonous Acceleration, Poison Zone speeds up the move gauge. Poison is Fall Azarola. Fall, whatchamacallit? Fall... Oh my goodness, I forgot her name. Fall? You probably are talking about it in the live chat now. Fall Iris! Sorry, Fall Iris. Fall Iris. Poison Zone. Potion MP refresh, ramming speed, higher damage. Rejuvenate 6, fills up the move gauge after you use your sync move. Super toxic, if you attack a poisoned or badly poisoned opponent, has a 50% chance of giving yourself a super effective up next effect, which basically increases the next damage of your attack if it's a crit, if it's a super effective attack, by 150%, if I'm not mistaken. Toxic power 3, if the opponent is poisoned, stronger damage, and 2 power up for her sync move. Now, same thing, this is a Poke Fair, and she has 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 tiles. 4 out of 5, you got Here We Go, Catalytic Kick 9, speeds up the move gauge. Ruthless Toxin 9. If the opponent is poisoned or badly poisoned, every single time you attack it, you lower 2 stat ranks of either attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasiveness. Nice. I think this is good. 5 out of 5, you got Venomous Sync all 9. After you use your sync move, everyone will be badly poisoned. Which I don't know why you are gonna use this, because you probably want to use the max move. I don't know. Maybe you are powering her up first and then you do not poison the opponent yet, and then you decide to use your sync move on her first and badly poison the opponent this way instead of Poison Fang, maybe. And then you got Team Evasive Maneuvers. Every single time you attack an opponent, you have a 50% chance of raising everyone's evasiveness. It's okay. But I think Ruthless Toxin 9 is the best out of her for the unnecessary 4 out of 5 / 5 out of 5 tiles. 5 out of 5 Venomous Sync all 9 is, I think, completely unnecessary. Team Evasive Maneuvers is a nice touch, but could be, you know, not a lot of sync pairs can raise evasiveness. So I guess this one is a nice touch. And that's M9 Crobat, very strong poison type striker. If you want her, well, go get her. Next, let's talk about the last sync pair, Leon and Charizard. This is a rerun. Probably you know about Leon very much already, so I'm just gonna speed things up. You have 3 different types of attacks. One is an AoE, the others are not. Inferno leaves the target burned. You will never miss your attacks because of Piercing Gaze. And as a Master Sync pair, you have a Master Passive Galar Flag Bearer. You get to recover your MP for Strike a Pose every now and then with MP Rekindle 2. And then there's a 50% chance of giving yourself a super effective up next effect whenever you attack because of Super Preparation 4. Strike a Pose, slowly build up your stats. Also, you know, raises your attack stat, raises your special attack stat, raises your critical hit rate, reduces your sync move countdown by 1, but it is slow. Because it only raises, you know, slow. You need at least 3 Strike a Poses before you can maximize your stats. But the best thing about him right now is because of his rerun, you now have G-Max. And I don't think you need 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 for this one. 1 out of 5, just having him in your team, whether it's a brand new scouting or if you already have Leon before, you get access now to 3 G-Max moves, which you have a choice of using Max Airstreams, raises everyone's speed, Max Quake raises everyone's special defense, or G-Max Wildfire puts a damage or fire damage field effect to the opponent's field of play. Every single time the opponent attacks, they will receive fire type damage, just like how Bertha does with a Stealth Rock damage field effect. But I'm assuming that the opponents in Champion Stadium will have FD, right, like rock damage field defense. For this one, probably a fire damage field defense for Champion Stadium, but who knows, right? Anyway, this is how G-Max Wildfire looks like. Let's enjoy. And poor Lucario once again. And trivia, guys, this is the second sync pair to have a normal, you know, signature sync move animation and a signature max move animation. So, yeah, before we had Thunderbolt Red for that one, now we have Leon and Charizard for this one as well. But then, Thunderbolt Red is, I guess, more special than this one. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the grid. As you might see, the grid is so few compared to the newer sync pairs. I mean, it's such much shorter. Everyone else fills up the entire page. This one just that. 1 out of 5 bursts in, guarantees your critical hit at the start of the battle. First attack. 2 out of 5 rejuvenates 6, fills up the move gauge by 6 after you use your sync move. 3 out of 5 you got burn synergy, power up your attacks when the opponent is burned. Fast track 2, healthy super hit. Scorching Sync 5 powers up your sync move when the opponent is burned. Stat reboot, if you're lowered, if you have any stats lowered, it just raises them back to normal. Sync Burst 1 restores 1 MP for strike a pose after you use your sync move for the very first time, which is not needed because you have MP Rekindle 2. Sync Stat Reboot has a moderately good chance of returning. Oh, I should have restarted this. I think it now is changed like to has a 30% chance of raising your speed stat. Sync Stat Reboot has a 40% chance of returning the user's lowered stats to normal. That's Leon and Charizard. Pretty old sync pair, but now powered up. Alright, we have discussed everyone, and now let's go back to the timeline. Just a reminder for everyone. Again, you have 2 seasonals, Palantine seasonals. You have 3 Poke Fairs, and you have 1 Master Fair Rerun. Every single one is limited, and every single one is bait. For those who do not have Leon, he has been the very first Master Fair. So make sure if you want to scout for him, then scout for him because he might not rerun for a very long time. And yeah, 7% chance for the first 2, 10% chance for the next 3, 12% chance of getting a random 5-star sync pair. First 5, 2% chance of getting the featured unit. Last one, 1% chance of getting the featured unit. First 2, guaranteed 1 copy, 20,200 paid gems. First 2 as well. First 3 multi-pulls on the non-paid banner. You get presents, candy coin presents. 3, 4, 5, no presents at all for scouting. And the 6th one, Leon, you get presents for scouting first 5 times. And yeah. Who is the best? Well, let's take a look at their stats. Palantine's Mallow has the lowest HP. Sorry about the blue thing, I made a little mistake. But the highest defense and special defense stat, as well as the lowest special attack stat out of the bunch. But, you know, she is pretty much undying with Team Fist Bump, Team Fist Bump, Team Fist Bump, Team Fist Bump, initial synchro healing. And, you know, when she is at half health, just recovers back 50% HP. It's crazy. Annabelle, on the other hand, the other support, has the highest special defense, same as Mallow, a little bit lower defense, and the highest HP, lowest attack stat, but the HP is also shared with Leon, the Master Fair, with the highest attack stat, special attack stat as well. And remember that Leon is a Master Fair, so his Master Passive will help raise those stats as well for your normal attacks as well as for your receiving of the opponent's normal attacks. Palantine Serena is center across the board, not too bad defenses, not too bad attack and special attack stat, and speed stat not really that much of a problem because Metronome is just a 1 move gauge attack. Cygnus with Lysander's lowest special defense stat, lower defense with Emma. But Cygnus with Lysander is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, water type you can find. Crazy damage, crazy multipliers, and just gets better with rain if you have a rain setter unit in your team. Emma, on the other hand, has one of, rather, the highest speed stat, the lowest HP, or lowest defense stat, but probably the strongest poison type attacker in the game right now. In terms of, you know, B cross poison is just crazy strong damage, but stats are not everything. And now let us appreciate the hard work and effort that came into putting this up. Okay, hit the thumbs up right now and let us quickly discuss their multipliers. Palentine's Mallow, nothing. Palentine's Elessa, you got mostly these things will trigger if you are able to land a super effective attack on the opponent. A lot of things will trigger here. Physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect will also trigger every single time you use Metronome. And I think if the opponent misses, you also get a physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect at 3 out of 5. Meanwhile, Cygnus with Lysander, lots of attack move multipliers, my goodness. Burn Synergy 1, Furious Brain, higher special attack stat, Heat Wave, super effective, super duper effective 9, Raging Rain, Searing Surge 5 if the opponent is burned. Special moves up next effect, either 1, 2, or 3 stacks if you use B Hydro Pump, depending on how many opponents are burned. Special moves up next effect at 3 out of 5, I think if you use your trainer move. You get yourself a super effective up next effect by using B Hydro Pump as well, and the other super effective up next effect, 5 out of 5, quite expensive for this one, after you use your Sync move. Scorching Sync for the Sync move is when the opponent is burned, and I think that's it for Cygnus with Lysander. Annabelle, on the other hand, physical moves up next effect, how do you get this again? But you get this at 4 out of 5, and then her stats just go up. I think I have to put that on the Sync move multiplier as well. So put that in the Sync move multiplier as well, because her stats go up 20% if you use, or if you have, an ally field effect. Emma, ramming speed, higher speed stat is super effective up next effect, toxic power, so opponent poisoned, virulent toxin, opponent poison as well, super effective up next effect, inertia, the higher speed stat is the stronger the damage. Leon, let me hide myself. Burn Synergy, Scorching Sync are multipliers for the opponent if they are burned. There's Galar Flag Bearer, the master passive. Super effective up next effect. You bring this with super preparation randomly. And then that's about it. Those are the multipliers. So, who should you scout for? Nothing significant. You only get, I think the only significant thing here is Cygnus with Lysander. 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Cygnus with Lysander. Annabelle, physical moves up next effect. You don't exactly need this. Here. How do I say this? Mallow support, Annabelle support. If you were to ask me who is better among the two of them, it is situational. In most cases, for me, I would prefer Team Fist Bump rather than Shields. Yes, Shields will keep you alive, but in my opinion, Team Fist Bump 9 is much better than having Shields, because having Shields, you know, you have to time them properly or else they will expire. And for newer players, although you probably are not a newer player if you're watching this, maybe it's much easier to use Palentine's Mallow than Annabelle. And then you also have a special damage or special defense reduction with Mallow which makes her very, very significant. And at 3 out of 5, you can get the opponent to flinch. Was it 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5? Get the opponent to flinch using Dragon Pulse. I think it's 3 out of 5. And you can also lower the opponent's speed stat using Apple Acid, using Palatine's Mallows. So, crazy recovery and nice debuffs. A combination of a tech sync pair and a support sync pair, and high defensive stats. Palatine's Elessa, randomizer. I have to say that multiple times. But then, she's a flying type. And flying types, there have been pretty much a lot of flying types recently. Right now, there is Anniversary Steven. If you want to scout for Anniversary Steven, I would say that Anniversary Steven's normal attack will be better than Palatine's Elessa. But Palatine's Elessa, I am assuming, and I'm pretty sure about this, her sync move will be stronger than Anniversary Steven's sync move. Because of Superpowered 5, just built-in multiplier already, and the other ones, if you get those on her kit. So, Palatine's Elessa better in sync move than Anniversary Steven, but Anniversary Steven much better in terms of normal attacks. But then you got a multiplier, or rather a randomizer, which can hit every single type of attack as well. And if you're able to land a opponent weak to attack, you get to lower your sync move countdown -1, which is awesome. Signature Lysander, probably the best unit of this update. The damage is just crazy. Already have the damage calculations, but I would be posting that in my video where it is coming up. In fact, I am going to change the way I make my scout or skiff videos. You will have to see that for yourself once I post them. But Signature Lysander, just crazy. Just one copy alone is amazing enough. Having more than one copy, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5 is just crazy strong. 4 out of 5, I think, makes him a slight debuffer. 5 out of 5, completely unnecessary. With super effective up next, completely unnecessary. Is that? Or is it 5 out of 5 the debuffer thing? Anyway, strong water type. Strong fire type as well with Heat Wave. But strong is all I can say. But there are so many water types right now that do you need another one? You have to think about that. Annabelle? Shields, and can recover herself using her max move. Nothing much to say with Annabelle. You can raise everyone's defensive stats, if I'm not mistaken. You can speed up your move gauge. You can give everyone shields, the best shields there are. So I think you can also raise everyone's attack stat to maximum. So shields, physical moves, physical damage reduction, special damage reduction, critical hit defense, perfect for stages that have permanent field effects, because the opponent will never be able to use or hit you with a critical hit. Every single attack will be halved, except if the opponent uses defog or brick break, which give goodbye shields. Emma, fastest sync pair of the bunch, has a lot to do with poisoning the opponent. Take note that her B cross poison is very expensive in terms of the move gauge. 4 move gauges. As long as one opponent is poisoned or badly poisoned, you get to unlock that thing. You do not have to raise her own critical hit rate, but then by that means your Poison Fang will never land a critical hit, but your sync move and your B cross poison will always be a critical hit because of how those are built and because of critical sync move passive skill. That aside, strong poison type, the best poison striker we have right now in the game. Definitely defeats Plumeria, definitely defeats Lucre. Emma is much stronger than the both of them. But Emma is a physical attacker. Plumeria is a special sync pair, special attacker. Meanwhile, Leon is a rerun unit. Few multipliers, but now you have a max move. Or you have 3 max moves. Which, you know, is pretty cool. Because this include, you know, this is the first sync pair that is upgraded hugely. I mean, they designed animations for those max move. It's not just a sync grid update, it's a max move update. And maybe we will eventually see older sync pairs like Raihan. I mean, Raihan was already upgraded, but now, you know, Cynthia was upgraded twice. So I can believe that Raihan probably will get a max move as well, and some other sync pairs like, for example, Nessa might get a max move as well next time in the future, but who knows. But now, this one is, whatchamacallit, this one just proved that DNA can do something like that. So, how do I rate these sync pairs? Can I exclude Leon from this list? Because, I don't know. Leon is just, if you have not gotten your Master Fair yet, then definitely get Leon. But in terms of comparing Leon with these other 5, I think Leon pales a lot in comparison, especially with the damage and stuff. Signature Lysander, in terms of fire type attacks, might be better than Leon. Might be better than Leon. But Master Passive and, you know, gifts when you scout first 5 multipliers. So, my tier list. A little bit of sorting. Number 1 is Signature Lysander. Number 2, depending if you have Plumeria or Lucre, can be either Emma or Malo. Emma is very strong. That critical sync is very much helpful. And yeah, Emma is just strong poison type. We do not get a lot of poison types. I mean, we have Fall Iris, but I'm not sure how many of you got Fall Iris because seasonal, and a lot of people skip seasonal sync pairs. So maybe Palentine's Malo or Emma. And after Malo is Annabelle, because I think Malo is just better than Team Fist Bump 9 is better than having shields. And then Palentine's Alessa is my last out of the bunch because randomizer, not exactly a fan of, well, it's fun, but it's gimmicky, and you want consistency rather than gimmicks. So, again, Signature Lysander, then either Emma or Malo. Then after Malo, we have Annabelle. And after Annabelle, we have Palentine's Alessa. But, you know, you do you. Let me know what your tier list or what your sorting, scouting order is in this update. Again, I'm just here to educate you guys. But you should scout your favorites instead of the meta. Because the meta is sure to change. Maybe in the next update, maybe in the anniversary, we will get a brand new mechanic again. Who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? Shake my head. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. You can check out my how many gems you can get for the month of February 2023. And I will soon have scout or skip videos or the brand new version soon for each one of them. But that is my February 2023 Sync Pairs Who to Scout for video, where we talk about Bates 3.5 year anniversary Bates. If you enjoy this, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button to help out the channel and to help out with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't again. and leave a comment right now. Tell me what your thoughts are. And if you enjoy the brand new videos, I did 2 new videos. I did a Datamine in a nutshell video as well as a 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video. Tell me if they're helpful because I would love to hear your thoughts so that, you know, I'd get to continue those videos if you guys enjoy them. But with that said, thank you to my awesome members and my awesome gifters out here. Thank you Roy Ewis, Shadowphil, Jeremy for the gift memberships. Thank you everyone for being active. If you want a gift membership, you have a higher chance if you're active in the channel. So go be active in the live chat, in the comment section, in the hitting, and everything else. In the sharing of the videos. And thank you as well, lastly, to my awesome members, especially my 2-year members, Shadowphil, Alcin, Roy, my 1-year members, Luca, Jeremy, Sasri, Marcella. And speaking of Marcella, happy birthday once again, Marcella. And Kosei, and my Ultra Bolt tier member, Marokman, my Premier Bolt tier, Shido Vods, Premier or Pokeball tier member, Iwiz, Tatsuya Gold, Apsaras, Message, SPL Gum, Kundan Mishra, and 4chan Friend. Thank you all for your support. And with that, I'm signing out. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video.